What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy out here with another Stargirl review. So, episode 10 has come out. And I gotta say, man, this episode hit deep, hit real deep. This episode cements this show's flawlessness. This has been an epic first season. Not to say that, I'll get into my cons, but it's more of an overall direction that, it works, but I wish they could have done differently. But, there'll be spoilers in this episode, so let's get it. Quick summary of the episode. Takes place, well, we get a nice flashback, first of all, um, of how Barbara and Pat met. And it's very nice, Pat's doing some of his research. Barbara's trying to sell her mother's home, and they're in Blue Valley 2 years from the present. 2 years ago from the present. And they hit it off as you would, yes. And then, of course, they gave us background. And then we immediately get back into the present, the aftermath of the whole dinner, where Barbara sees the staff activated and she's freaking out. And, you know, Pat decides to come clean. But Courtney's like, trying to lie it off, but it can't happen. So they come clean with everything, and Barbara kind of doesn't take it well, understandably, because Courtney's been put in danger. Now she's hearing her daughter give fanciful tales about her ex-husband, about how he was a superhero. Then Pat's a sidekick as well. And, she first of all tells Courtney to go to her room. Like, I don't want to hear it. You head up to your room. They'll talk about your dad. Your dad wasn't a superhero. Yada, yada, yada. Then Pat tries to come off and say, hey, look, I tried to tell you, and I don't want to, make this worse for you. And, she asks a question like, that car accident, was that a car accident, or did Courtney actually get herself hurt doing all of these superhero things? And he said, no, it wasn't a car accident. And she's like, you got to get out the house. Can't be with you right at this moment. So that's kind of sucks, very. Then on the flip side, we get a good sense of Brainwave Senior, and he wakes up, but at the moment he can't remember the last 10 years of his life. And a side note, what I thought was funny was that the lawyer that Brainwave Junior accidentally killed, he's just like, well, nothing we can do. He just had a seizure, and hey, we ain't gonna ask you questions about what happened. Continue to mourn your father, and they just took him out. They didn't show it, but that's what I imagine went down. So, Brainwave saying that, hey, you have my abilities, and I know they're scary, but I can help you. Let me get you some rest. And so, going back, Pat gets ready to leave, and we just see Mike is like, hey, Dad, where you going? And it's like, yeah, I'm hitting the garage, gonna sleep there. Let Barb cool off. And, he's like, wait, are you guys gonna get a divorce? He's like, I don't know, I hope not. And so he's like saying, hey, I'll come with you because, I'm your son. And he's like, yeah, I love you, son. So they head up to the garage. Meanwhile, Brainwave is having a nightmare, Senior, about his wife, and he mentions a tape number 3329, I think. So, basically, Henry Jr. basically goes back to the house, but then Jordan, Icicle Senior, comes in and says, "Hey, um, hey, what's up? Glad you're awake. We can finally do Project New America, basically." But it cuts back to the we get a little side note also, first of all, that the staff wants to help and take out Jordan because Courtney, first of all, tells him to go back. We can't do anything. But then he goes to the garage, finds Icicle Senior's picture, and says, I'm going to hunt it down. But then back to Henry Jr., he's like, hey, he watches his tape, and he realizes that on the tape, it seems like a confession where Brainwave is like saying, look, um, meeting my wife, because he talked about how he met his wife, Mary, that, hey, I met her robbing a bank, and she began to change me, but Jordan didn't like that, so he brought the JSA to our hideout, and we killed them. And it turns out that Mary was Starman's brother, and he's like, I knew that she probably wouldn't probably forgive me, and he's like saying, "Damn you, Jordan." So Henry thinks that my Jordan killed my mother. And so he's out. He heads back to the hospital and he sees Jordan, first of all. And, Jordan is basically debriefing Brainwave, saying, hey, you're awake. That's good. We can now get ready this new machine for Project New America. We can now warp everybody's minds within the next six six states around us. We can make a better country and make a better world by proxy. Then, of course, Starman staff comes in. The Cosmic staff comes in, tries to attack Jordan, which he does actually. Gets a good blast in, and he gets a good blast in, and of course, Brainwave stops the staff. Jordan freezes it, and they're like, I'm taking this staff. And he's like saying, I'll brief you on the way back. And, Henry comes in as he's doing that, but he manages to stay hidden and manages to shield his mind from his pops. So next morning, Barb is like, Courtney's up and he's like, where's the staff? And Barb is like, I hope Pat took it. And he's like, pack your bags. We're getting ready to X out of this place because I don't want to be here because of all this confusion. So, we see that basically Courtney is leaving. Courtney goes to school, and Pat. Well, she goes to see Pat first of all, and she's like saying the staff is gone. Do you have it? And he's like, no, I don't have it. It's like, it's like I don't know where it is. And he tells like, hey, look, I'm gonna go after your mother and make sure she's safe and whatnot. You just go back home, pack your bags, and listen to your mother. And he's like, I have to get her out of here. He's like, look, losing your mother hurts me, but I can live with that. I can eat that, but I can't eat her getting hurt or you hurt. So do as your mother says. Then, of course, Mike is not happy that Court's not telling him anything. So that's more family strife to go with that. So coming from school, basically, Courtney's going. Then Henry meets her. And, he gets in her, tries to tell her, hey, look, I got information. This is what happened. Jordan did this. And, he touches her and transfers all of the thoughts into her head. And she's like saying, oh, it's like saying, wait. So basically, he killed your mother, who was Starman's brother, who's my aunt. That means we're cousins. It means we're family. And, Courtney just, hugs him. And he's like, okay, cuz let's chill on that sentiment and get to the battle at hand. And he's saying that the ISA has my dad, and they killed my dad. Let's go, and they killed my mom. Let's go take them out once and for all. So they try to keep the team appraised. And at lunch, Rick and Yolanda are not pleased with this development. As expected, Beth is like, okay, well, we'll find a way to work through it and everything like that. And Rick is like saying, nah, we shouldn't trust him. It's like saying, we're going to go in there, we're going to take his dad out. And Rick is like, nah, you're not hurting my dad. And no, Henry's like, nah, you're not hurting my dad. And Rick is like, okay, square up, bro. And as predictably, but I was expecting it, but it was still kind of satisfying because Rick was kind of being an asshole. And just, he just gives him a telepathic, a psychonic blast, basically. And, Beth is like, oh, no, we just josh it. Don't pay attention to us like you usually do. So basically, after much wrangling, Yolanda's like, look, the only reason why I'm going is because you're going to need someone to watch your back, and I don't trust him. But you chose Henry over me. We're not friends. That kind of, hurt, but Courtney was like, okay, let's just do this thing. So everybody begins to shoot up. Everybody begins to shoot up, basically. Pat goes to see Barb and basically gets into the fact that, hey, look, I'm sorry, and everything like that. And so I say, but Barb starts doing her own research. And, basically, he's trying to plead with her that, look, I need you to get to safety. You can't be here. It's too dangerous. Just take Courtney and leave. And then, of course, Jordan with his eccentric parents come in. They come in to thank her for the on the dinner, of course. And he's like, and he's like, yes, Jordan's with his persona is like, yeah, things and everything like that. Family business got to be taken care of. But little does he know that Barb was recording the whole conversation, and she asks Pat if can he speak Norwegian, and he's like, no, can you? But I got the record, and we can Google Translate this baby. But at the same time, it looks like um, Barbara sent a email to, I believe, her ex-husband. So and at least that's what I think. I thought at first it was Courtney, but then I realized it wouldn't make sense for her to send an email to Courtney. So I think this is her ex talking about Courtney. Not sure. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But long story short, the team goes back to the catacombs. Um, they decide to split up. Rick, and Beth go one way. Yolanda, Henry, and Courtney go another way. Um, and we get some, good character development where, one thing that's been bugging me was that I would hope that Henry would say that, hey, I didn't share those photos with the whole school. Like, I didn't do that. I mean, I shared them with my buddies, and I was wrong for that, and I hurt you for that. But I didn't share it school wide. But he was telling Yolanda, like, look, I wish you could read my thoughts to let you know that I'm so sorry, and I didn't mean to do it to you, and I did hurt you. And she's like, well, you can't take it back, so that's just that. Then they're moving their own way. Meanwhile, Rick and Beth meet up with Solomon Grundy, basically. And they see that it's Solomon Grundy, and Rick is like, oh, Solomon Grundy's the one who killed my parents. I'm gonna take him out now. And Beth is like, oh, no, 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 we can't do that. And he's like, watch me. Turns on the hourglass and gets ready to rip off the hinges of the door, basically. Um, then, of course, we get where the three of them discover Dr. Ito's lair. They see Brainwave hooked up to the machinery for some tests with the Dragon King. And, they're getting ready to sneak. And then Cindy snitches, man. She's like, Daddy, 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 they're right there from her cell. Please let me out. Let me fight her. Let me kill her, please. And then we get to see that she is definitely, there is no redeeming her. She's very evil. Almost psychotically so. So anyway, Dr. Ito's like, okay, my boys, take them out. So we get a very nice fight where Stargirl. This is one of my favorite parts because we see I was wondering what they would do, but we see that Stargirl, being a gymnast, taking some martial arts, she finds a staff and she starts fighting, and I think they're killing these drones, like, because I saw like Stargirl slitting some throats with a spear, doing some stabs, Yolanda coming in with those claws, slitting throats, um, scratching out chests, like, dang. And Henry's out there providing telepathic and telekinetic support. It's a pretty good fight scene. Everything's going around. Everybody's throwing down. Everybody's doing everything. You know what I mean? So Dr. Ito's decided to say, "Well, man, my boys ain't handling this, man. I better handle this myself." So Dr. Ito comes around, and Cindy's still begging to kill Stargirl, but he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Dragon King." And they start fighting. Dr. Ito's no slouch, man. He got himself that samurai sword. And clearly, as I like to say, this is Courtney. Courtney's first time. This is her first year as a hero. She's clearly fighting people with decades. In this case, yeah, in this case, with Dr. Ito's case, many decades of fighting experience. So she ain't looking too good. But you know, he's fighting her and he takes her down and he's about to deliver the killing blow. But then Yolanda sees this. She goes in, takes out some dudes, goes to the cage where they're keeping the cosmic staff, which is what they saw when they entered in, looking to, take it out. She takes it out, breaks it. And, she can't get it to work, so she gives it to Courtney. And Courtney activates it just in time and just blasts the Dragon King down, man. And, his hood comes off. And then you just see him. And I gotta say, that's some pretty good effects right there. That's pretty nice, man. That's pretty. I love seeing Doctor Ito's face, and he roars and he roars, and then Yolanda and Courtney freak out, and they just blast my man to the face. Bam! They take him out. But meanwhile, Brainwave is like Henry sees his father. He's like, "Come on, Dad, we'll get you out." He's like, "No, son, I'm evil." Short to keep it short. And it's like, "No, no." And he's like, join me, son, join me." But Henry's not having that. He blasts his father away, and he hits like a wall, and he gets knocked out. And he's like telling that, "Nah, my dad can't be safe. Let's X out of here." And then meanwhile, Rick and Rick and Beth are still there, and she's pleading with Rick to stop. But then, of course, Doctor Ito's drones come in. Rick is like, "You know what?" Bam, punches them away, and he looks at the cage. Like, "I'm coming back for you, man. This ain't over." And Grundy's just roaring. So all five of them get together, and they decide to basically go in ahead, and they run into like a dead end with some bars. But of course, Rick is like, "Yo, I got this." He opens up some bars. Beth, Yolanda go in and out, and Beth, Yolanda go in and out. But the things just close, and Brainwave is coming in. He's coming in, man. And Courtney tries to blast him, and of course, the psionic shield is just too much. So Rick and Henry decide to make the opening wider using his own psychic powers combined with Rick's strength. And we get an opening. Rick goes in, and Henry tells Courtney, say, "Hey, come on, go through." And it's like, "I'll meet you there." But he just telekinetically takes Courtney, pushes her through, and the thing closes. And, Henry's like pleading with his father, like, "Hey, you're good. Mom is getting to you. You don't have to do this. Jordan killed," and I know the reason why he's like, "Jordan killed Mom." It's like, "No, Jordan didn't kill Mom. I killed your mother. Join me, son, and together we could rule." Well, well, I was getting those vibes, basically. So Henry's like, "I'll never stand with you." It's like, "Look, man, if you don't stand with me, you're against me, and I'm going to have to eliminate you." And Henry tried. He used all of his power, but Brainwave was just too great. He's like, "Hey, bro, hey, my son, I'm sorry, but you die today." And, you know, we get the last moment where he tells Courtney to, "You're right. Not everybody's evil. Keep that thought always." And then we have a nice last heart to heart, between him and Yolanda, where he says he's sorry, begs for his forgiveness, and he just wants to know. And dang, man, he dies when Brainwave just collapsed the whole ceiling of the catacomb on Henry, just killing him. And Yolanda's broken, and there's just so much, so much so much pain. Before that, though, Barbara and Pat listen to the recording in Norwegian, talking about how they like her, but it won't matter anyway because the machine is coming up, so they're trying to figure out what this machine is. But back to the ending, man. That ending was hard. Ending was raw, man. Henry's gone. Henry's gone, man. The children of the ISA are getting plucked off one by one. I mean, magician's dead. His son is dead. Henry's now dead. The gambler has no son. Makes you wonder what the parents, Tigress and Sportsmaster, are thinking about Artemis. Like, dang, man, all of our children are dying, and even the principal is like saying, "Dang, is my son next?" Man, they're probably going to be starting to thinking some things. You know what I mean? But that was the end of the episode. Now, pros, neutrals, and cons. First pro I'd have to give is to Pat and Barbara. I say this because Pat, of course, the acting was superb. I really like Pat. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. He's a relatable guy. He wants to do good by his family. He's a good man. A very good man. And I really like how this show is depicting him. It's very good. Very good as well. Second pro is Henry. R.I.P. Rest in peace, bro. And, you know, to see his character development in like the last 3, 4 episodes has been something of very great writing. Um, and it's a shame he got cut short, but I don't know, is he really dead? But then again, the way that they killed the magician's son, you know, I don't know. It might be curtains for Henry, but I just really liked his interactions with Courtney when he loosened up, when he became a more compassionate character. He's trying to do good, and he wanted to do good. And, he saw the light. And it was definitely great acting. I really like his actor. His actor really killed it, man. No pun intended. but he really hit it out of the park, man. That was some fine grade A acting right there. Uh, the next pro I got, the fight scenes. It was very nice to see Courtney fight without the staff, doing most of the work. But yeah, she can throw down. It was a great fight. Seeing the Dragon King with the sword and them fight was, top notch. It was fantastic. It was very, very good. Excellent work. Excellent work. Excellent. Another pro was just the acting. Like last episode, I said that this was the last episode. I said it was the most well acted episode. Nah, this episode is the most well acted episode. The acting was just great. It was fantastic. Fantastic. Um, the effects, which is my fifth pro, were very good as well. Nothing felt too jarring. Everything felt good. Cinematography, choreography, everything was top notch and on point. This show is great. I can't stress it enough. It's great. Excellent work and whatnot. And I'd say those are all of my pros. The neutrals, I'm gonna keep bringing him up. Mike, okay? Mike has his moments, but the problem with Mike that they still didn't fix, and there's still 3 more episodes to go, so hopefully they do, is that you know he's hot and cold, like extremes of yeah, I love my dad and everything. Oh, Courtney, why don't you tell me everything? This, and this back and forth. It sounds like a con, but the only reason why I put it in neutral and not a con is because he's a 13-year-old kid. You expect a certain degree of yeah, it's unfair to him and whatnot. So that's that. Now we go to the con, and the one con I have is kind of the speed at which they're moving, and it's not like the pacing of an episode. It's like the pacing of the story. Well, dang. In a span of 5 episodes, 3 episodes, Courtney tells Yolanda, I'm Stargirl. And after that, Beth knows. And immediately after that, Rick knows. And then immediately after that, Cindy knows. And then immediately after that, Barbara knows. And then immediately after that, Henry knows. And then Barbara knows. And then Stargirl knows. And then I forgot, Brainwave also knows as well, if he remembers that far. Oh, that's going to have some terrible ramifications. But yeah, the thing is that everybody knows when we could have used, this first season to really delve into Stargirl being Stargirl by herself. And it's not that the season hasn't done that, but it's with the knowledge that other people know who she is, which I think we could have waited off. We also get this huge conflict, or like in the first season, putting Barbara and Pat's marriage on the rough patch. That I found a little bit too soon as well. And then also when you consider the deaths of kids in the ISA, I'm like, that's also moving a little bit too fast. But the thing is that it's worked so far. The show hasn't missed a beat. The show's been telling the story very good. So it's more of a personal gripe. Not a personal gripe, but it's more of a big nitpick that I have. But it doesn't take away from the show. Um, this show was deep. This show was heavy. This episode was heavy. And this was a fantastic episode. Great. Despite that con, which is really nothing, I'll give this a 10 out of 10. It was great, wonderful, and I recommend that you guys get on this show, get yourself caught up so that you can enjoy the season finale when it comes in 3 weeks' time. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, hit the notifications to make sure you're notified, and comment below to give me your opinions of this episode. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss good shows like this and get your views on them. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll have more videos up tomorrow. Peace.